Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Top Agent Podcast. I'm Ryan Espey, and as usual, my host is Stacey Regula. We are both with eXp, and today I am happy to introduce you to the person that is not only one of the people that is partnered with us in eXp, she also happens to be my personal sponsor, Connie McKee. Connie, how are you doing?
I'm great, Ryan. Thank you so much for having me on here with you and Stacey.
Anytime. It's a pleasure to have you here. And to give you a little background, I'm not trying to steal the show or anything, but when I first started with eXp, or when I was considering eXp, I had to find someone from a similar, comparable community where eXp had already launched, because there was literally no data for Manitoba, and Manitoba had never experienced, eXp had not launched here yet. So I reached out to someone in a community that was similar to size to Portage-la Prairie, and I found Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Seemed to be a great comparable. I found Connie, and between our conversations that we had, it ended up being me joining an eXp under you.
Yes.
So I guess the first question I have for you, Connie, and I don't know the answers to these questions yet, what is your story? Like, what was life before real estate? So give us some background on you.
Well, I grew up in small town Saskatchewan, Hanley, on the farm, and I wanted to do, when I finished high school, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but I was a hairstylist, actually. I took cosmetology, and I did hair for 18 years. And I had a salon in Regina for many years, and Century 21 actually was next door to my shop, and I did lots of the staff there. Got chit-chatting, and next thing you know, I've sold my salon and I've got my real estate license. It was kind of crazy. And I was in Regina for 3 years, and then I came back home to Saskatoon, and I've been selling real estate just about 20 years. Kind of hopped around to a couple of different brokerages, and then found eXp and hopped on board, and best decision I think I've made in a long time. And it's been really great, and it's really great to have you guys on board with us. And that's kind of a little me in a nutshell. I raised 3 kids on my own, and they're happy, healthy adults. And now I just have 2 dogs at home.
Perfect.
So, yeah, that's kind of my story.
Awesome. Well, you kind of answered my question then, which was why did you start in real estate? So it kind of tells us a bit about that.
You know, starting in real estate actually was kind of something that just was, I don't really have an answer why. I was thinking that I wanted to do a job change.
Yeah.
I had done hair for 18 years, and I loved it. And it was good for my family and I had my own shop. And I think for me, it was I wanted to have a little more income and a little more freedom. And it was, like I said, I talked to a couple of the agents and managers at Century 21, and the next thing you know, I have my books and my license. Like, it wasn't really a planned thing. It was sort of just, here I am, throw it into it. And my girls were 6 and my son was 9, and I just rolled with it.
Did you find that having the career in hairdressing kind of helped you transition into real estate, just knowing so many people?
100%.
Having your face in the community?
I had a huge database from hair.
Wow.
And I already had built trust.
Yeah.
Because who do you trust more than your hairstylist other than your realtor?
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. And the common theme that I seem to see here, it's pretty rare that we ever find somebody that says, I wanted to be a realtor from the time I was in middle school all the way through high school. It's usually some other career first, and then transitioning into it. I know if someone had asked me, if I was in high school or even in, say, the first 10 years of my career in corrections, do you ever see yourself being a realtor? I would have laughed. It would be not even a consideration.
Right.
Yeah. But for me, I found having that background, though, like, still most of my clients are correctional officers. Like, you kind of feed off of your past employment in regards to people know you, right? So I worked with these people, same thing, 10 years, and they get to know you. And
well, there was already a trust level there.
yeah, for sure.
So when I sold real estate in Regina, I had this huge clientele base that I just touched back.
Yeah.
And lined up some deals because they knew I was getting my license and so on and so forth. And I cut hair and sold real estate for the first 3 years.
Yeah.
And when I came back home, it was pretty simple because I just sent out like massive flyers and whatnot and said, look who's coming back home.
Yeah.
You know, my dad was quite well known in our neighborhood because he was a farmer, but on the RM, he was counselor and things. So lots of people knew him. So I just used that to my advantage and said, hey, look who's back. Bob and Sandy have their daughter back and kids are coming and not cutting hair, but selling real estate, and just flyered both Hanley and Dundurn were my stomping grounds per se. And then, you know, with Facebook and whatnot, everybody realizing I'm back. It just sort of was a really easier transition than it could have been not knowing anybody. I guess it's
of course, everyone has that warm market to draw from, and some are stronger than others. And if you had a previous career, that can help you a great deal.
Huge, especially in the service industry.
Yeah. My next question for you is, and this one is a little bit different for everybody, but what drew you to eXp? So tell me about the first exposure and what kind of tipped the balance in bringing you in.
I think for me, I was looking for something different. I didn't know what it was that I was looking for, but I knew it was something different. And I had talked to my broker that I was working with at the time and said, you know, I'm looking for this and I'm looking for that. And I kept saying, I either need to get bigger or I need to quit. And he's like, Connie, you know what to do, just go do it. And then I had talked to Chris, and then I had talked to Marla on our team, as you know them. And Marla just had a very different outlook on eXp. So her and I had met a couple of times, and I just thought to myself, you know, what do I have to lose? I've been in this business a long time. Most people don't care who you work for. I need to look after myself. And with eXp and their revenue share and their growing your team base and the stocks and all those things, I just sort of felt were an opportunity for me to sort of have a retirement plan that I've never had. I've been self-employed my whole life. I've never had an job that you go to Monday to Friday and get a paycheck. So
I just need to ask you one clarification question, because your broker at the time told you, you know what to do, go do it. Did that broker understand that meant you potentially leaving their brokerage?
Well, he actually was looking into the business as well, into eXp. Pardon?
Did he go?
Nope. And I said to him, you need to talk to Marla. And I don't know if I really should be saying this in public, but he's like, why? I've already talked to Deb and everybody so I know everything. And those words to me were, Connie, you just got to go. Because I truly was faithful to him. I'd have stayed. He's a great guy. He was good to us. And like I said, nobody cares who we work for, really.
No.
The umbrella we have. Most people don't know who we work for.
Yeah, that's a true story.
That was a big concern of mine coming over, and Ryan convinced me otherwise, and he was right. So
true. Like most people say, who do you work for? Because I've been in the business 20 years, and I've worked for a couple of the bigger companies that they don't even know.
Yeah.
Because they don't really care. They just want to work with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I found that when I did hair as well. They didn't care what shop I worked at.
No.
And I think when you're in our type of business, growing and building relationships is the biggest thing. It's all about relationship building and you know, building trust and long-lasting relationships with clients.
Yeah.
Or people. And most of my business is referral based.
So how long have you been with eXp now then?
2.5 years. It was actually, I came in, I think almost a year to exact date that Ryan came in.
Oh, wow.
Like I was as green as the grass and with the company, and then Ryan came over, which was really super fun. And I always would say to him, I don't know, let's ask Chris. I'm not sure. Let's ask somebody else. I don't know. Because I didn't know.
Yeah.
But
so when you came over in the last 2.5 years, what's changed for you since you joined eXp as a realtor?
Well, I think for me, and I'm going to say it was eXp, but our team that I'm on, and you guys as well, there's no hidden secrets. It's so transparent. If I've been in the business a long time, so lots of the agents are like, Connie, you've been here for just about 20 years. Like, and I'm like, of course I know, but sometimes we need to be reminded. Or sometimes, I find that some of the newer agents you learn things from because they're green and they're trying some new things. And me as an older agent, age-wise and longevity in the business, I'm techie, but I'm not that techie. And so I've learned lots from them. I think that the ability to grow my business has been huge because everybody is so supportive. If I said, who's got a listing presentation?
Yeah.
You're very open to share that with me, knowing I'm not stealing your business. I'm just getting better myself. If you want mine, sure, I'll give it to you. I have nothing to hide. Because if it can help you grow as a person and grow your business, why not? Because that's what we're here for. And I think that's probably the biggest thing I find with eXp. And our team, I think, is a big part of that, is just the transparency and being willing to help everybody grow as better people, better agents, better businesses. I actually have found, and I don't know if it's COVID related, I'm going to say it's eXp related because it makes me feel better, that I made a better decision, that I've doubled my business.
Yeah.
Coming to eXp the first year and then again this past year. So, like I said, I'm not sure if it's COVID really related, but I'm going to go with it's just eXp.
Well, it's funny you say that because I experienced the exact same thing. However, not everyone can say that in my local market. So I too will say it's eXp.
Right. I think that because everybody on our team is so positive, that if you surround yourself with positive people, positive things happen to you. It's all mindset.
Yep, that's very true.
I think too, eXp with our team, it'll give you the motivation you need to like pick yourself up when you're feeling down about things. Like there's days where I'm like stressing out about real estate or my success, and then like whatever, I'll tell Ryan or somebody else on the team like, oh, I'm just feeling like stressed out. And then before I would just go and pout on the couch for the day, but now it's like, okay, well, Chris is like, do this, and this, and Ryan's like, do this and this, and then all of a sudden you're going and showing a house, and it's like, thanks, guys.
Right, and it's like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Because you changed your mindset.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why I said I'm going to say that it's eXp, not COVID related.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do believe that it's really important to have a really strong team base.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we have a few questions that are a little more fun.
Okay.
Now, some of them might be very easy for you to answer. Others, maybe not. But we're going to ask them anyway.
All right.
And we steal some of these questions from other podcasts. We borrow them, but what's that expression? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. So I'm sure those folks don't mind. But the first question I have for you is, what is that one movie that if it's on, you'll watch it over and over again? The favorite movie of all time. Don't just tell me you're not a movie watcher, because that would be no fun at all.
I'm not a huge TV person. I really am not, because usually if I'm at home and you turn the TV on, I'm having a nap on the couch. I'll just be honest. Unless there's popcorn. If there's popcorn, I'm probably eating the popcorn and then have a nap, because now I'm full. I'm probably going to say anything Fast and Furious.
Oh, I'm on board with that.
I have a little need for
I'm out of
speed.
here.
I have a little need for speed.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Everybody laughs. I have lots of friends that laugh because everything I have for vehicles are either supercharged or turbo. So,
Wow. Okay.
And my son follows that suit. So, he comes by it honestly, I guess. But yeah, I think that's probably the one that I've watched many times.
Perfect. Awesome. What is your favorite thing to do when you're not doing real estate?
Hang with my dogs. I live at the lake, and I really live at a big slough, but we'll call it a lake because that's what they call it. Because there's not really a lake in Saskatchewan. But I have 2 Great Danes, and I love hanging out with them. There are lots of entertainment.
Nice.
Or I ride a motorcycle in the summer too, so that would be the alternative. If it's super nice out, I like to get on the bike.
Nice.
Have some wind therapy, sun therapy.
Now, I think I know the answer to this because I know you a little bit, but what book has had the most influence on you?
Probably Law of Attraction.
Really?
Napoleon Hill. Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone would be another one. I have several. I'm kind of a book junkie with business.
Nice.
Me too. And I'm not the guy that reads one book at a time. I have 3 on the go right now.
I'm the same, Ryan. What about you, Stacey? Are you a book reader?
I have a very hard time reading books at home. But when I was in corrections, I would just read on night shifts. But I'm trying to justify reading at home. So there's a few on my to-do list. A few of them because I like Brian Buffini, so he's recommended a few books. But my next one that I'm looking at doing is the YouTube Secrets, just to kind of educate myself on YouTube and kind of growing my business on that front. So
good for you.
Where I'm going next.
So let me ask you this, guy. I'm going to ask you guys this question since
Sure.
we're talking about books. When you read a book, are you a highlighter book reader or are you just a reader?
Just a reader.
I can be both. If I have a highlighter handy, I'm marking stuff down and folding pages over.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes if something is profound, I will actually take out my phone and take a picture of it so I remember to refer back to it.
Good deal.
I'm getting pretty big into podcasts, listening to them while I'm driving. That's where it's at for me right now. Brent Gove, loving his podcast. And yeah, Brian Buffini.
Right.
Those are my top 2 right now. So
choose.
Yeah.
I find when I'm in the car, I tend to return all those phone calls I haven't had a chance to do.
Yeah. I do that first, and then I'm rural, so I have a lot of driving to do. So
me as well. I live out of town too because I'm at
sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody. You just want to listen to podcasts. So
that's me often, and so I have 2 cars I drive, and one has a terrible. It's a little Mini Cooper, and so when I'm in it, there's some wind noise. And so I don't talk on the phone lots on it because I sound like I have my head in a pail of water.
Yeah.
So that's when I would then
do podcasts.
Like yourself, podcasts, YouTube stuff, motivational stuff. But if I'm in my other vehicle, in my SUV, it's a little quieter. So then I tend to make phone calls instead.
I feel like driving your car is a really good time to just not have distractions and learn. Try and grow your business. And then I get home when I'm all motivated. So
yes, good for you. Good for you, Stacey.
So our last question for you, it's a good one. The single best piece of advice that you've ever been given.
Oh boy, I've been given lots. Whether I've taken advantage of it or not is a whole nother story because we're all human and. I think the biggest thing would be stay focused, stay motivated, stay positive, and always be honest. Just be yourself. Yeah,
That's perfect. Be authentic.
150%.
Yeah.
When somebody meets me, this is who I am. I say what I think what I say. It doesn't mean it's politically correct, but it comes out of my mouth, and sometimes I go, probably shouldn't have said that, but too late, because I did. And genuinely just be a good person. Just be honest with people. That's all they really want.
Yeah.
And if they don't want to hear the truth, I probably don't want to work with them anyway.
That's a very interesting point. And being authentic will not only bring you the respect of the people that want to work with you, they'll weed out the ones that maybe you don't click with. And
it's a good thing.
Suffering through that relationship of someone that doesn't want to work with you and you might not want to work with them, it's not worth it at the end of the day.
Well, and often those are the people that'll cause you hassle.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, Connie, we appreciate you coming on.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on, and it was fun, and I hope that we have an opportunity to do it again sometime. Sorry, my dog's fighting in the background.
That's okay. Yeah.
Guys, they're puppies still. One's 9 months old and one's 18. So they think that playtime's anytime I'm busy.
Anytime you want. Anytime you're tied up. Yeah.
Exactly. I thought we did pretty good. But yeah, thank you so much, and I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to maybe doing it again sometime.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.